Surprise, motherfucker.
Good evening, one and all. Welcome to the Flower Hour. I don't think we'll be on here talking for an hour tonight, but you never know, because I've got a very disgruntled Cardiff City fan in Rhys David Evans joining me. Thank you very much, Rhys. How's tricks, buddy?
Evening. Not too good, is it?
No.
A lot of negatives.
It is a lot of negatives, mate, and obviously everybody's entitled to their opinions. So, we'll dive straight into it in a second. But before we start, just a massive shout out to AJM, our sponsors for the Flower Hour. Provide embroidery and printing service based in Cwmvalynfach. You can see the information scrolling across the bottom of your screens. So hit them up, guys. Matt Brown and his team are brilliant. They'll do anything for you. So just get in touch with them. They've got a Facebook page, etc. We really appreciate their support. Tonight, if I'm honest, I know you got a bit of a rant and you want a bit of a thing, so I'll just have a bit of an input on now what you got to say. We'll try and hit as many of the comments and things as we can, but to be honest, I'm going to try and stay as level-headed as I can. That'll probably go out the window after about 2 minutes, but yes. So obviously 2-0 dire performance. Do you want to start ranting, but or do you want me to
first off, it's a sad day for Bamba and stuff, and I want to start first of all with that disgraceful photos going round where the Leeds bench all stood applauding and our bench just sat there. Didn't look like they gave two. Honestly, God, that's disgusting. Like, everyone knows I'm a Bullet supporter. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's devoid of criticism, but I think a lot should be aimed at him. But today, when fans have already turned against him, the last thing he should be doing is showing disrespect to a player who's give everything for his badge, then passed away. And the fact they all just sat there and not one of them stood up and applauded, disgraceful, first of all. I thought that was disgusting.
Yeah, 100% agree. It was something I said to the chap who sits next to me in the family, and we could notice, all the Leeds players had stood up on the sideline, kind of arms all linked together, applauding, or, shoulder to shoulder, they were applauding. And yeah, to see that all the Cardiff City bench and staff still sat down, I just thought it was poor, really. Played videos of Sol and some of the goals he scored throughout. Thought they probably could have done it a little bit more, the club, really. I thought they could have been like a bucket collection outside of the ground. I know they've done QR codes on the programme and on the big screen and things, but I just think perhaps a little bit more could have been done. But it is what it is. I think the fans who did turn up and the away fans, were singing Sol Bamba's name throughout the afternoon. But yeah, it was quite humbling, really. It was quite emotional watching some of the videos and stuff and realizing, he's younger than me. He was only 39, I think he was when he passed away. And it just makes you realize and think, how short life is, really. It's bonkers. And somebody so fit and healthy for so long, and then it can just change in the blink of an eye. It was emotional, especially watching the videos, and just a sad start to the day, which didn't really get any better, to be honest. It was a very frustrating afternoon. I think the lineup, as soon as you've seen the lineup at 2:00, you kind of knew it wasn't going to go the way we wanted it to, really. Still don't see what Kanga offers us. Obviously, I know you wasn't at the game today because you were stuck in work. So, butt in because I know you've seen the highlights and that since. But yeah, we was just awful, absolutely awful. I don't know what people in the comments, and please, guys, this is my opinion only, and you might have different opinions, but I've never known us to set off a team as much as we get. I don't know whether we give them too much respect, but we just sat off them and just let them run at us. I've never seen us as bad as that before. I don't know whether, like I said, we give them too much respect or we weren't hungry enough, but as soon as we had the ball, they were on us like a cheap suit type of thing, putting us.
We always do it,
and we give away loads of silly balls. It was just unreal, absolutely unreal. Rosie's talk and speech in the press conference was about fight and hunger, and we'll put in a performance. If that's a performance that they're trying to do for somebody who done so much for our club, then we're buggered. We're buggered.
First thing I want to say, right, is I think we all love Joe Rawls. I think what he's done for the club as a servant is fantastic. He is not a captain. He is not a leader. If you go 1-0 down, he's looking around for everyone else to pick him up. He is not a captain. I seen the pictures earlier of Sean Morrison there. He's the last real captain we've had, the last leader we've had. It's something we've lacked for so long. I'm not being funny. You've got Robertson on the bench. You've paid, what, $2.5 million for Man City for a young athletic midfielder who's got mobility and pace. Play him. Like, again, I'm a big Bullets fan. Everyone knows I've supported him. But he's not avoided criticism. His team selections are shocking. NG hasn't looked the same player since Winter left. I mean, you got Chambers who's making some sloppy mistakes that we've seen from like Gutas and stuff. So I don't know what's happening there. This one thing I've seen on Facebook tonight, which has really wound me up, is certain fans keep saying it's not the player's fault, it's all the manager's fault. Right? Forget about tactics, right? These are professional footballers. They should be running around. They should be chasing every ball, busting the gut, regardless of what the thoughts of the manager is. It's the fans they're trying to they're playing for, not the manager, it's the fans. NG type jogging back from their first goal. I think at one point, two of their players went clean through. Thankfully, Anwick I thought had a decent game, some of the saves he pulled off. Got past out two centre-backs who were just jogging back to it. Bust the gut. Kanga, you might not get the service. Put yourself about. Close some people down. Chase after the ball. Do something. I mean, you stood there. I'm sick of hearing certain fans saying it's not the player's fault, it's the manager's tactics. Well, again, they play for the manager, yeah, but they also play for the fans. Show us something. Show us some desire and heart. I'm sick of letting them get a free pass. Some of them players need to look at themselves. They're a disgrace to the badge at the minute. Not working hard enough. Easy, hard enough to pick up their paycheck. They work hard enough if the money was stopped. But yeah, I'm sick of something like that. I mean, not being funny. Some of them players, I would be happy not to see for a while.
Yeah, I agree, but I agree.
You can blame the manager's tactics all you want, right? But how many times have we misplaced passes today? How many times were we out of position? Players trying to do something fancy. Ruben went through at one point. I thought, like, put the ball wide or something. Takes a shot. It's it. I don't know, at the stadium, it looks of it. I'm not being funny, but put some effort in. Play some hard for the badge, like. But
yeah, it just for me, I think the only positive that came out of that today was the fact that Jack Alnwick, I think if it weren't for him, obviously he saved the penalty. He had another 3 or 4 good saves. We could have been out. They could have been out of sight by half time. In fairness to him, I don't think their goalkeeper had a save to make. To be honest, I don't think we troubled him once.
Honestly, Alnwick, I've had a big support of Alnwick. I have been for a while. I'm glad to see him probably get a run in the side. I'm disappointed though that the run in the side coincided with a very poor defensive front of him. But again, Joe Bagan, sloppy. Come on, for me it was a red card. He's playing through. He pulls him back to the box, takes him down, and he pulls him again in the box.
Yeah, I thought that.
You got to be smart than that.
Given the penalty, really, and sent him off with the penalty, couldn't he? Really?
It's like there's got to be smart than that. Come on, this is a higher standard, and that's sloppy defending. Yeah. But again, you look at Chambers. This is a guy who's played for Arsenal and Villa. I mean, it looks like he's been playing at Wrexham for the last 6 years before they were bought up by the Americans. So some of the stuff he's doing is shocking. But my rant tonight is aimed at the club more than anything.
He had a poor game today, Chambers. I think defensive-wise as well, we was just lumping balls away, and it's like, no disrespect on my under-10s team, but it was like under-10s just kicking the ball aimlessly. We're kicking it straight back to Leeds players. It was a frustrating watch, to be honest. But onwards and upwards.
But again, it's the idea of, if we get a new manager now, the players will somehow turn up for him, which I think is disrespectful to the fans, really. Because again, if you're going to go, I'm not going to bother train now because it's bullet. But if tomorrow it's manager X, you know what? I might run through a brick wall for him now, just because I get started the week after. I think that's disrespectful to us. And again, that's what winds me up. The players are not taking any blame for this, and the players should take a lot of blame. Again, we can all criticise manager tactics and selection, but there's certain players who actually go out there and do something and run for the badge and stuff. I'm really annoyed at the players as well, more than anything.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was just one of them things today. That Leeds were first to all 50-50 challenges. Leeds were they were there. They wanted it. I wouldn't say Leeds were brilliant. Like I said, they should have been 4 or 5 goals up. Really, they easily. If we'd come out of there today, lost 4 or 5-0, I don't think we could have argued, really, to be honest. Like I said, Arnick saved that penalty, had a couple of other good chances, but just so many basic, silly mistakes. And I don't know whether, the players are feeling pressure. I don't know.
I mean, for me, I'm looking at the back line now, the defence, right? Chambers has played alongside Darland, Fish, Gutas. They've all looked bad, and he's kept his place. I'm sorry, but he's struggling to play with them all as well. I would say I want to rant about the club, if anything, because I know a few bad results now, and fans will bullet out. I understand.
Just before you rant too much about the club, then, right? Let me just say these are Reese's opinions only, not that of anybody associated with Cardiff City World.
I'm not going to ban for this, but my argument is the club, right? I am sick to death of the way our club is run. At the very top, we got an owner who's in Malaysia who doesn't give a monkey's about club. He wants 200 million for a championship club fighting relegation year after year. He is taking the mick. His 2 cronies, one is always in Cyprus or Turkey, wherever Dalman's live in, doesn't bother. He don't care about us. He came on before, say he doesn't take a wage. He doesn't. He gets consultancy fees. He's like a politician where he answers questions. And he got 2 running a car sales garage up in London somewhere. They don't care about our club starters. The fact that this bad run has gone on now, and is, regardless of where you want bullets stay or go, the fact that club is still silent on what's actually happening says it all yet again. They don't care. Not only that, right? I mean, this for a while now, we've needed a striker, a goal scorer. We've also needed pace outside. We sold a defender of 10 million in the summer, and what do? Will Fish, 2 million. Darlan, 3.5 million. Callum Chambers on a free. 3 defenders. We've got a striker and some pace out wide. Who's in charge of this transfer committee? Who's taking responsibility for this? Because again, it's not hard to see what we need, and yet again, we've not gone for it. We've gone for another immobile striker because we have this idea that the target man is the only way to play. And again, we've seen it time after time again of a lump at the top who can't move. He can't stand up without falling over and hurting himself. You got Kanga, who doesn't move. Agbo last year didn't move at all. Mate is not a striker, let's be honest. The board is a joke. And then you see some of our fans as well, Ed. I made a list of the managers we've had since Tan bought us. Malky. Sacked Malky. All right. We've seen 1.5 why he got sacked. We understand that. Then we had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Absolute joke of a manager he was with us. And we had fans saying we should keep him just because of his name. And then we had Dalman saying he's the cream of the crop. I've got my man and stuff. What a failure that was. Russell Slade, he came in to cut the costs, and fair play Russell Slade. I think he's underappreciated with our fans. He got us an 8th finish under very tough circumstances. And to be fair, the fans wanted him gone for boring football. He got us 8th. We'd all kill for 8th, say we would right now, regardless of the style of football. Then we had Paul Trollope. disaster. Less said, being better. I remember, was it Godogby, whatever his name was, missed an open goal for like 2 yards out. Shocker. Warnock came in. He was the one good one he signed, and fair play, brilliant. His second season of the Championship, though, after relegation, we had fans calling for him to be sacked because things went bad. Then we had Neil Harris, again, playoffs. Fans wanted him gone for boring football. Really? Mick McCarthy lost 8 games in a row. The club said nothing during that time. Just let them carry on. It was a joke for his run. Steve Morrison, they let him sign, 19 players, spend £1.5 million on a striker, and then sack him a week later. Half the fans wanted him gone just because he replaced some goalkeeping coach half us never knew of before at one point. We had Mark Hudson come in then, and Steve Morrison's team asked to play same football as him, no transfers, nothing, under an embargo. Does a decent job, 7 draws, I think. 7 draws, 4 wins. Keeps us competitive in games. Fans want him gone for not winning enough. Then we have Sabri, who, let's be honest, I didn't like Sabri. 1 or 2 wins here and there, but after that, it was, my job's not to win certain games, my job's just to keep us up, which it is. But it's South Wales derby, mate. Show some passion, will you? And then we got Bullet, and the fans are saying he's the wrong man again. So the question is, if he does go, who do we get in? Because again, it'll just be another cheap appointment, maybe, or another wrong appointment. And in 6 months' time, we'll be saying, this is boring, this is. We want him gone now. I want it better than mid-table. I want playoffs. This is boring. Again, the club is just run as a joke. They just don't care. And I'm sick of the club, honestly. I want Tan gone. I want Dalman gone. Some people keep saying that Tan deserves credit for putting money into the club every month, 3 million a month that keeps afloat. He's covering the mistakes he's made. If he didn't make some of the mistakes he's made, he won't be paying 3 million a month. It's simple as that. You look at the money he's spent on players, on God knows what else. Then he wanted to hire someone before who was a painter because he thought he was do a good job. The man is an absolute joke, and the sooner he's out of a club, the better. We all deserve better. This is Cardiff City. We're the capital of Wales. The 11th biggest population in the UK, city-wise. And not being funny, we deserve better. We should be better, treated better. The club, the ownership, treat us fans like a joke. They don't care about us. 125th year, and what they've done? Put an old badge on one shirt. They've kept up the badge on all the other stuff. They do not give a monkey, the club don't. And they'll have Dalman come on now in a few months' time when things looking rosy again, saying, well, we're doing a good job, aren't we? But as soon as things go bad, you want to see him or hear him. And he's the chairman. Absolute snake, all of them are. I can't stand them. I want them all gone. They're my views, by the way. Not the views of the podcast, but yeah, I want them all gone.
Yeah, happy days. Right, we got plenty of comments in the thing, so we'll have a little look at the comments. I'll give you a chance to catch your breath and calm down. I don't know if you want to sit in the corner and just count to 10 and get a brown paper bag and breathe into it. But yeah, let's have a fly through. There's loads of comments, guys, so apologies if I don't get to them all. I have tried to put some up on the screen, and it's near on impossible to answer them, go through them all. We'll be here till Christmas, but Sloper Road Blues says Bullet is a donkey, lads. Simple as that. Can't disagree with you at the moment, but to be honest with you, I'm the same as Reese in the sense that I was all pro Bullet. I wanted to back and support him, but I think it's kind of getting hard to kind of get behind him now and support him. But on the other hand, again, like you said, Reese, if he does go, it's just that merry-go-round. We're going through round and round all the bloody time, aren't we?
It'll be Omar Rizal be taking the job there will be in. And he'll be given 6 to 7 months, and then fans will be saying it's the same story, get rid of him, but then there'll be another one come through again then.
Yeah. Some Jamie, thank you for your comments, buddy. Kanga couldn't care less about winning a single aerial duel, just ball watching. The one he went up for today, the Leeds defender was under it, and he shoulder barged him. He may as well rugby tackled him. It was bonkers. What else we got? James, we give the ball away all the effing time. 100% agree, mate. So many basic sloppy errors, and against good teams like Leeds, you can't afford to do that. I think we was talking just before we come on live, and I think Leeds had 79% possession, and now for me that is inexcusable, really, isn't it? That's at home to have 21% possession at home, regardless of who you're playing, really, is shambolic.
The thing is, we played him in the FA Cup, I think, 3 seasons ago in Indian Park. We drew 2-all at Cardiff City Stadium, sorry. We drew 2-all. That game, we played Isaac Davis up top, and he ran in behind the defence in the channels, and he worked, he ran the defence ragged. We can beat them, even on counter, if we had pace. But like I said, we don't have pace because we didn't buy pace. We just bought Kanga, who can't move. He's playing musical statues by himself.
Yeah, agreed. Right, let's talk about the red card. I think we talked about it a little bit at the start. You think it was a red, blatant red?
I think it was a red. I think it doesn't matter if it was clear and obvious. I think it's a case of he gave the ref no choice. I think the Leeds players were smart. They don't know what to do. As soon as there's contact, it doesn't matter how much contact, go down.
Yeah.
And then he dragged him into the box to keep the foul going. So he was smart there. Joe Baker needs to be a lot more savvy. Again, I think he was last man because Dowder looked like he was on the other side, and if he came across, he wasn't making it.
I think the referee could have quite easily given him the penalty for the foul in the box as well when he tried pulling him back, to be honest, and he could have easily had sent him off there as well.
I think it shows we've lacked his left back for a while. A decent left back shows we've lacked that. Again, it just shows, again, back to the transfer committee, no pace, no striker. We need a left back, didn't get one. We got 3 centre backs instead. I honestly scratching your head.
Yeah. Comment from Stu. Reality is something is rotten at the heart of the football club. It goes deeper than Bullet, but clear that players aren't on board with the negative, slow defensive tactics from Bullet. I think he's hit the nail on the head there, Stu, in fairness to you, buddy. Jamie, another comment. Thanks for all your comments, buddy. Chambers showed no ambition to track back right before we conceded the second goal. Lack of pace. Probably the worst game I've seen him play for us today, to be fair, Chambers. And again, none of them were brilliant. Nowhere near brilliant. But just from 1 to 11 and the guys who come on, they were just nowhere near good enough. Nowhere near good enough. And, considering what today was and what it was about, I'd be embarrassed if I was out there wearing that shirt. Considering what was said in the press leading up to the game, no one of them players on there, I don't think. Maybe Caldwell. Caldwell, for me, is the only one who looks as if he wants to be out there playing for Cardiff City. I'd
argue Alnwick as well. I thought he did himself right today. I thought he did a good job. But this is my problem more. This is why I'm saying Joe Wall's not a captain. A game like this today, on special occasion like this today, you need him to go screaming at players to wake up, sort themselves out. He's too timid, he's too quiet. He's not a leader. I would not follow him. Honestly, he's a great club captain, but not on the pitch. He's not the match squad captain. You need a Sean Morrison there. You look back at our promotion years, Sean Morrison, Peltier, Gunnison. We had leaders all over the place. We have not got that now. We haven't got one leader. It's just, again, the club, it's obvious what the club needs, and no one seems to be cared about doing anything about it.
No. What's your thought on this then? Baker Boy, thanks for the comment, buddy. Sea Fisher, by the look of it. I don't think it's mutually exclusive to want Tan to sell up, but also to be thankful for his investment over the years. I think it's well broadcasted and documented that he's still losing money every month or still ploughing money in every month. I don't think we're not knocking that. I think it's just the way that everything's controlled above that, and obviously we're grateful. He's keeping our club going, but it's just the way everything's run above it.
I'd like to add to that. So every few months we get the same speech from Dalman saying Vincent obviously cares about the club. He keeps losing 3 million a month, and every season we hear we have to cut the cost somewhere, which is okay. We understand, but season after season we keep cutting the cost, and we still have to put £3 million in a month. Well, if it's not the playing side that's costing the 3 million, it's the board side, and something needs to be done there. Dalman's not there all the time. Choose there. Get rid of one of them. Simple as. Save some money that way. And also, he's putting money in every month because of the mistakes he's made. It's cost us. I just think it's easy enough to cover your own costs. I think he's doing it until he gets an offer he wants, and he wants to put 200 million is what the reports are. He's not getting that.
No.
I think once the Salah case is settled, I think he will sell at a reduced price, and he'll walk away and he'll say, "Look what I've done. I got them 2 years in the Premier League. I did that." And really, it's no, mate. You didn't.
Yeah. Comment from Paul there. Fish done well. Obviously, his first start for Cardiff City today in a difficult, obviously, game. be interesting to see what other people's views are. Sai, who's obviously who runs Cardiff City World, thought he'd done all right as well today. So it'll be interesting to see what others thought. Obviously, given the circumstances in the game, what other people thought, how he done.
I wasn't overly impressed.
I can't say I was, to be honest, when Sai mentioned it, but I'm putting it to the people.
Again, it might be one of those, though, that because everyone seems to have a bad game, it's harder to make him stand out. It might be that, but for me, it was Alan Liverpool, the best game for me today. I thought he was our man of the match straight away. I thought without him, we'd have been bad.
Yeah.
But again, without him, I think for the last few seasons when he has played, we would have been worse off. I think he's a proper number one. How Ethan Horvath is a championship keeper, I have no idea. Yeah, Alwick is my number one for me.
Yeah, 100% agree with you, but I thought, still think a couple of times at points today, his placement of the ball and that, couple over kicked and things and wasn't great, but I think he proved that, shot stop. Horvath is a good shot stopper, but he just gives me the jitters every time the ball goes anywhere near him. I just feel more confident with.
I think if you look at a lot of the goals we conceded, I think it was Sunderland last year. I think Swansea at home, maybe Coventry away home last year. A lot of the goals are the same for him. He parries rather than hold on to the ball, he parries it into a danger zone, and teams often have a striker to stand there ready to tap it in, and then he's looking at his defence and go, "Well, what are you doing? Well, what are you doing, mate?" But yeah, I just he's not.
A comment from Louise, the Viking. Nice to see you back, Louise. People turning out for Bamba today. To be honest, that needs to happen. Large crowd every game. I was disappointed, to be honest. I think the official crowd was just over 23,000, I think. And apparently there was 3,000 odd Leeds supporters. So take the Leeds supporters away, and it was just under 20,000 Cardiff, I think. Which I was a bit disappointed. I was hoping for kind of more than that. What was your thoughts on that?
I think it's hard to get fans back there when things are so bad at the club. Yeah. I know for Bamba, I think everyone would love to be there and show respect because, again, he meant so much to so many of us. But I think with things that go so bad at the club, fans are trying to just not go in there, not wasting money on things like that now. I think it's not a
cheap day out. If like I know season ticket holders and things are obviously committed to go in, and that comes in an expense as well. But if you think, I'll take I was listening to the Rob Phillips phoning on the way home, and there was a dad phoned up and who'd taken his boy, and just it's not a cheap day out, is it?
No. Well, for us, I think it's like £13-14 return on the train. If I take my brother, that's about 28 30 quid on the train. Then for the train station to the stadium, we get drinks to eat as well.
And spend the same on food for him as well, and for his dinner, like.
Oh, honestly, it's an absolute. It's not a cheap day out, and again, I don't think this is just a bullet. I think this has been happening for the last, 10 years. There's been a slow rot at our club, seeping from the top, and it's gone all the way from the top down to the fans. You look at the South Wales derbies, no one cares, and that's starting to affect the fans as well. You look at the players, they don't care. It's from the very top it's started, and I think if it keeps going this way, you might start seeing 14,000 fans, 13,000 fans. Why pay to watch it? I hate to say it, but Swansea play good football on a day. I mean, if fans want to see good football, they'll start going there, and that'll be the ruin. That'll ruin us, I will.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever get to the point that I'd go down there, mind. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to lie.
I'd rather watch Luther.
Not. I wouldn't even go down there if you paid for a season ticket for me to go down there and come and pick me up every week. Yeah, I'd rather go and watch.
No, I wouldn't go there.
We'll go up with Lewis, and I didn't see how they got on today. Actually, we'll have to have a little look after. But I'm looking forward to that if we can try and sort a trip up there. But obviously Neil Warnock was there, a couple of past players. He had a brilliant reception. The crowd was shouting, asking him to do the Ayatollah and things. Do you reckon the conversation might have been had behind closed doors today?
I wouldn't be surprised if Dalman said, Neil, do you fancy one more crack at it? Come on. But he seems happy back down south. He does. The talk geeks, he's a advisor now, he is, for them. and he seems really happy. I know we went to the Warnock Live event back in June, I want to say, and fans were chanting him, Warnock, come back and stuff, and he was saying, no, I'm happy now where I am. I'm more than happy where I am. But
you never know. See, Sharon might want a new pair of shoes or something, and you might get...
It's one of those for me, though. Ian, let's say Warnock does come back, just for example, just papering over the cracks. Because he'll only stay for 2 to 3 years at most. And once he goes, the same issues we got now will still be there, except they'll be worse because they will allow him to spend a bit more money and maybe on players that we don't want, the next manager doesn't want. Because he'll revert back to type. He'll go back to long ball, which again might reflect results that obviously. But then fans will then call the next manager boring for keeping that possession. So then you have to get a new team. And I just think, even if you take a Warnock in, it'll just paper over the cracks that we clearly have.
Yeah. So, Holloway next week, do you think he'll still be in place?
Yeah. I think Bullock will still be in charge. Hull, a funny one this year. They've started so poor. They lost, is it Greaves, the centre-back to Ipswich for a few million. They've lost Philogene, who made them tick last year. The owner apparently wasn't happy with Ryan Allsop playing, so he sold him to Birmingham, then sacked Rosinia for not dropping him. The new manager doesn't
quite like him as a manager. He was one of them ones on the sideline who comes across as he's quite passionate as well. Like.
Tactically, he looked very savvy how he wants to see the play as well, which I thought was good. Things like Strasbourg now he is. But their new manager, I've seen some of their fans' comments. He doesn't fill them with confidence. I think they had a good win last night against the manager of Stoke. Again, that was a strange one. Jonathan Walters sacking Schumacher with, I think, one of the youngest sides in the league, playing some decent football. But yeah, again, we could have beaten Leeds 3-1 today. And that doesn't mean we would smash Hull on the weekend. So again, we could go to Hull and turn them over. And then all of a sudden, then you look at the next 3-4 games are winnable. The Championship is such a strange division, but I think he's in charge for the next game at least.
I think what we got to be careful of, I know we're still early doors and there's long ways to go, but if we don't sort something out soon, before you know it, that gap is going to be so difficult to close, isn't it?
It's honestly, it's one of those, right, where I never want to see us go to League One. I never want to see us drop a division. I hate relegation. Part of me looks at it more rationally and thinks, right, if it did get relegated, it'd have to be, the owner would go, let's be honest, he'd sell it because he wouldn't want to hold on to a League One club. That would be, I know, a mark against his name sort of thing. And I think at that point then, you have to have new owners in, and then it'll be a whole new feel-good factor, the club. But then again, he might stay there for 10 years and be stuck there. So I don't want us to go down. But again, there needs to be changes. There needs to be changes at the top down. I think it's easy to sack Bullock and replace him with another manager. We'll all be wanted out in 3-4 months' time. But nothing changes at the top. Nothing's going to change on the pitch either. I just think that's where it starts.
Yeah. I think going back to the question I said about Warnock, even if we brought him back, feel like the hole is been digged deep enough for this club now. Something has to change running the club, which we've been talking about. I think whoever comes in, like I said, you're just joining on that merry-go-round, and until something's sorted up top, I think we're just going to keep going round and round in that bloody vicious circle, to be honest. But
if anyone from the club is watching, I would love a crack at the job, even for one game, or let me go to the change room and have a word with 2 players, or just talk to the manager and just get me in there somewhere. I'll go for it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I want
to know people's thoughts then, because there's loads of people watching tonight. Really brilliant to have so much interaction in the comments. Really do appreciate it. What was your thoughts on Kanga coming off at half time and being replaced by Jamalu Collins?
I think obviously he's trying to bring in a more natural defender on. I think he would have a bit more experience on. I think Jamalu does the minutes. I think 45 might have been a bit too much for him too soon. Who knows? But again, I'm not surprised he took Kanga off though, because we were playing like he wasn't on the pitch anyway, so it made no difference him coming off.
I know.
He doesn't do nothing to show he's there.
I think psychologically though, for me, sat in the crowd and I seen that, it was pretty much we'd given up. We're just going to sit back and try and not concede anymore type of thing. You know, I would have been much happier Kanga coming off and seeing Robertson come on. Do you know what I mean? It just...
Yeah.
And,
you got... God, sorry.
I was going to say, you know, and perhaps the Leeds players might have felt different as well then. I think Robertson didn't come on much long. He might have come on around about the same time or not long after anyway. But it was just a weird one for me. I think psychologically, if they thought, oh, Robertson's coming on half-time now, the Leeds players might have thought, right, we're going to have to do... It was just a bit of a weird one for me. But
I think
there we go.
If I'm Bullet now, right, and Hull is my last throw of the dice, right? I'm dropping a few players. I'm dropping Kanga starters, and I'm playing Raid off at top. Again, it's the last throw of the dice. No matter what happens, I don't care. Raindorf plays for me. Kanga doesn't go near that team. Rolls can stay on the bench or back in the Cardiff for all I care. I'd have Robertson's playing. Okay, Pacquiao instead of NG. I'm going to stop this. I'd stick to 4-2-3-1, but I'd stop this defensive-minded hold back. High press, attack, non-stop. If you lose 5-0 attacking, playing football like that, he's going anyway. It doesn't matter if you lose 1-0 or 5-0. Just go for it at that point.
It's a great comment, Jayden. Fair play.
Does he walk about? I haven't seen him move.
There's a comment there from a Leeds supporter, so I wanted to bring it up just to touch upon. I thought their fans today were class, and as much as, you know, there's a bit of there's no love lost between the supporters, and shall we say, I thought, you know, they respected the tributes to Sol. They took part in the tributes to Sol. They were singing There's Only One Sol Bamba. They turned up in their numbers today, and, you know, full respect to them for that. It's not a short trip, so they would have had a nice long journey home. But obviously, the 2-0 win, getting back on the bus, would have been a lot sweeter than me having to drive 40 minutes listening to Rob Phillips talking shite to people on the radio. So fair play to all of them that come down. Let's have a little look. What else we got? Yeah, GD Parry, Kanga's had several games now, but doesn't shift out of neutral. I don't think we got many more options, or have we? We was disappointed. I know we talked in the week about Raindorf. He played for the 21s, didn't he? Scored 2 goals against Merthyr in the week in the Nathaniel Cup game. I don't know what more he's got to do to get on the bench, really, to be honest.
I'd like to know who's in charge of our scouting department. And this goes back to the Warlock days for me, because we signed a right back from Hearts at the time for £250,000, who showed up injured. And on his first training session, Warlock said, this lad can't defend. We got very lucky because Callum Parson could play attack in the end, and he did a wonderful job. But we signed a defender who couldn't defend. We've signed a striker who doesn't move. We signed a Tete who is absolutely garbage, right? Who is our scouting department? And what are they watching, or what are they smoking when they look at these players? Because honestly, God, it is shambolic. Who's watching Kanga? What do they see in him and thought, oh, you know what? You can suit the British game, he would. The fast British game, but you got to be quick, you got to move, you got to... You suit that, he would, with his statue playing like ability. Again, who's watching these players? Like, for me, it starts at the top. There's the committee again. I just don't get it. Like,
and the other thing that get me as well, right, is that this year they said they wanted to play more attacking football. They brought in this Omar Ritzer, is it?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what they're doing in training, because I think they're doing a lot. And I've heard rumours that Omar Ritzer and Bullock don't get on, but he brought him in type of thing. So I don't know if he's probably trying to say one thing, and this is, again, speculation. Perhaps he's trying to say something else, and I just don't know. But you'd think if he's come in, nothing has really changed from last year to this year. Has it?
Well,
really?
I'd say, one thing has changed. I think we look even less of a threat attacking now with the new attacking coach. I mean, how many shots on target? How many shots on target can get had? Are we touches in the opposition box we have today? I think we have 1 touch in the opposition box, I want to say. If that. The new attacking coach, we don't look like we know how to attack a ball. I mean, it's just... We've got no mobility. It starts at the front. If you press a team for 90 minutes from the front, the defence not only gets tired physically, but mentally. We've seen this against Southampton in the Cup, and we've seen it against Swansea in the second half. We tired the defence out.
That's what Leeds done to us today. They knew that we were under pressure and we had to go out and put a performance in. And they didn't give us a sniff. As soon as we had the ball, they were all over us like a rash, right? And it just put pressure on us and we make mistakes. And and we've talked about this previously, where we've gone with a high press and it puts teams under pressure. They make their mistakes. But when you're a team like Cardiff at the moment, who are very, very low on confidence, playing against a decent Leeds team who's going to be up there or thereabouts around the playoffs, I don't think they'll reach quite automatic promotion, but they'll be around the playoffs 100%. Teams like that are going to punish you. And it happened today. Especially that second. When it's 1-0, you're always in with a chance of nicking something. But that silly mistake then from Chambers at the end allowed that ex-Jack to get into the blinking box and finish the game off for us then. And then it was just mass exodus then. Everybody's hitting for the blinking, the exits like. But
this is my point though. They're jogging back to stop the attack. You can play the manager all you want, but the players are jogging back. Bust the gut, show the fans you care. It's back to basics. Chase every ball down. Win every second ball. If someone's got the ball, get stuck in, close them down. I mean, fans will get up. If you make a hard tackle, the fans will cheer for it. It'll get the fans going. You don't even try and do that. It's just stand off, let them have the ball, and then we'll try to hit on the counter. It doesn't work. Get the ball, press them high. Southampton in the Cup. We press them, they scored 3 goals. We stopped pressing them, they scored 5. At one point, their defence crumbled. I think for 10 minutes, we were just all over them. They couldn't handle it. Swansea away. Second half, we started pressing them. Their defence crumbled for about 20 minutes. And we had attack. It's all hard. If you press to the front, you tire the defence out physically and mentally. They'll make mistakes. And if you press in the front, the midfield will follow. The midfield follows. You put them under pressure. They'll miss passes. They'll make mistakes. You get the ball back. You're on the attack. It's simple things. Just get stuck in. Show the fans you care. Honestly.
Yeah, comment there from Cardiff City FC. A bullet running off to hide from the fans at full time again. Then at least clap them or show some effort of caring. Something I brought up after the Derby game last week where the player, it was only O'Dowda and Chris Willock, I think it was, who came over to kind of show any appreciation to the travelling away fans. I just think, you've got to do more. There's, people spending their hard-earned money to come and support. Like I said, they might show some frustrations, and they're entitled to do it. 100% they're entitled to do it. As long as they do it the right way. Don't get me wrong. I know some people will shout and scream and F and Jeff, and it's probably not the right thing to do, but I think is allowed as long as it's done respectfully, if that makes sense.
That's it. One thing that's annoyed me as well is I've seen the comments about they're saying Bullett's lost the dressing room, right? The players lost respect for him. That's okay, and right, if that's the case. The players have lost the fans as well for me. I'm just sick of the players getting away with it all the time. Yeah. Every manager that we've sacked for things going wrong, the players get away with it. It's too easy. And then they come out then and they say, we've got to knuckle down, work hard. Well, why didn't we do that in the first place? Why didn't we work hard? It's just disrespecting the fan base. It's, honest to God, I wish we had to play a tenth of what Bamba give us. You'd get stuck in every challenge. You'd challenge it for every ball. They just don't seem to care. And that's what annoys me the most. It's just no one cares.
Yeah.
And then the fan base will just go for the manager and not realising it's a lot more problems than just the manager. Here's
a question for you then. Well, I think we've talked about it before, but more for the people in the chat, really, because like I said, there's loads and loads of people in it tonight. Ollie Tanner on the right-hand side today, number of times he had the ball at his feet and he had the chance of trying to go past the winger, but as soon as he gets the ball, controls it, and he's looking to pass the ball back. Do you think he's being told to do that? or that's a confidence thing and he hasn't got the confidence to try and beat that player? Be interesting to see what the guys in the chat think as well.
I like to say a third option.
Sorry, but I'll let you jump back in now. That might just be my opinion, and perhaps I'm reading the game wrong, but it'd be interesting to see if anybody else thinks like that as well.
I'd like to offer a third opinion. I wonder if he's thinking, if I do get past the defender, I don't think there's anyone going to get in the box for the ball, so I'm stuck with the ball at the edge of the box, and if I lose it, I'm in trouble. I think it could be that. I mean, if you watch him when Robertson's playing, and he's got Ruben alongside him and Robertson there, he's making runs, and I get the Swansea goal, he's making runs past the defender with balls in the box. I think he's looking at Kanga going, what's the point? He's not going to move at all for this ball. The defender's going to beat him every time. I think he's just probably thinking, I just need to keep the ball, keep possession, retain it, and pass it on to someone who will make a pass better than what I can do. Because if he does get past the defender, there's no one going to be there. And let's be honest, Walsh isn't going to bust the gut to get in that box. Even if he did bust the gut, he's still going to be too slow to get in the box. CEO won't get into the box because it's not his job. This is why it should be Robertson playing, because he is the pace and he's the mobility and he will go forward. Walsh hasn't got the legs for that. So, again, playing wingers, looking at that now, playing wingers, you're probably going, if I get past the last man, who's going to be there? There's no one. Yeah. I'll have to try and take on half the team and try and score myself. And if I do, and I mess it up, all the blame's going to be on me. And one thing I do not like what Bullett's done, and one thing that's always annoyed me about that is he keeps picking on the younger players. Tanner's too fat and Robertson doesn't work hard enough. I'm sorry, but I'm seeing Gupta's mate. He does not like a player anymore. CEO's been struggling. NG, I don't know what's happened to him. I've already criticised some of these other lads as well because they deserve criticism right now.
Yeah, it's a great. Just as you come onto that, then Stu was just put. Bullett said he wants to dominate possession. My view, any risk taking has been hammered out of them. It probably hit the nail on the head there for me, to be honest. It's not great, but guys, we're going to look to wrap it up now in the next 5 or 10 minutes. I think the next game we got is Holloway next week. So it'll be interesting to see if anything comes out now over the next couple of days. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear something tomorrow or Monday and he's kind of he's had his marching orders. Perhaps they haven't done it today because of the Sol Bamba thing. But again, who knows? It's a bonkers, crazy world we live in. And I don't think anything will shock any one of us now with Cardiff City the way it's being run at the moment. But we can only look to tomorrow and see what tomorrow brings us. But I suppose
Malcolm will be back next week.
But that's the thing, right? Before we start wrapping up. Then, if he was to go, and like I said, I want him to do well. I want someone there who's going to stay there, and we just can't keep shipping managers out left, right, and centre. It's like you've just signed a new 2-year contract, so if we sack him, that's money we're paying out. So that's money the club is losing. But if at the end of the day, it's a business. If he's not performing and they get rid of him, who's gonna want the job? Who are we gonna get? That'll be interesting.
It's one of those where anyone will take the job because at the end of the day it's a payday and they know they're going to get paid off at the end of it for starters. Yeah. I think anyone will just take it. And again, to say you have a club like Cardiff or a CV, it's that Cardiff City are one of those clubs where if you got everything right, you could have a massive club in your hand. You could have a sleeping giant, really. And I think every manager would love the chance to be the one who makes that happen. But let's say we did sack Bullet now. It's going to be Omar Rizza. He'll be the interim manager. He's the one who the board wanted someone with that championship experience to work alongside Bullet. The first name across was James Rhodri, and he said, no, I don't want him. Then the club said, fine, we're going to get this other guy. He will probably be the man that takes it temporarily. Realistically, though, who out there could come in and do a good job right now? Scratching your head, because I think it doesn't matter who comes in. I think the issues are still the same. Personally, I would love a Spanish manager, someone who plays fast, free-flowing, possession football. I mean, Man City have had coach after coach after coach work under Pep Guardiola. Why can't we get one of them? I mean, they all know how Pep plays. We're not going to obviously emulate the same thing, but at least put some sort of resemblance of that in there. I mean, but again, we'll end up at Roma Rizza, and then we'll go to League 2 and pick up, or League 1 and pick Steve Evans up from Rotherham, or pick up someone who's been relegated from the Conference North and get them up to the new club. That's the way it's going to go. We'll have the postman, because he's always on time. He knows how to do a job. We'll get him instead. That's what we'll end up being.
Nick, I'm guessing you're not a Cardiff supporter. You might be, but yeah, you're not wrong anyway, but it's definitely not good at the moment. What about Nathan Jones then? I know he's at Charlton, but obviously I'd love him because he's just a passionate guy as well, and he's a manager. I know he's been talked and rumoured. Do you think, has he gone not too far down the ladder? Because I don't want to disrespect Charlton, but
no, it's one of those where if you're Nathan Jones now, would you want the job though? This is your club, the club you love. If things, you see how fickle fan base are. We were calling for one manager to get sacked because you replaced a goalkeeping coach. If you're Nathan Jones, do you really want to come in here, right, and all of a sudden make one mistake and half the fan base turn you like that? Yeah. Chris Coleman said it before about manager Swansea. It's the one job he'd love but could never do, because if it didn't go well, he could never go back there because of how much they turned him. And for Nathan Jones, I think I guess one of those where he'd probably love to do it, but probably be a poison chalice, because every decision we'd make, I mean, is it the right one? Will the fans turn to me? I'd like to see him there though, but not because he's a Cardiff fan, but because of the passion you see him show. Like when his Luton team beat Swansea, he went in the way, and was doing Ayatollah and cheering, celebrating wildly with the Luton fans. I want to see that passion, but what are we going to have? Like, I mean, we could have had Bellamy, but he won't work for Tan. He wouldn't work for Tan after the bullying claim.
With Bellamy's enthusiasm, like he's gone now for the Welsh job, somebody like that, doing the Cardiff role. I wanted to bring that comment up there that Louise put about Nathan Jones got Southampton relegated from the Premier League as well. What's that?
That doesn't matter. Didn't James Jones get relegated from the Premier League?
And that was from the Premier League. The 2 times Cardiff were in the Premier League, our manager's got us relegated as well. So it means jack shite, really. But yeah. But
if I'm being, if the money's there, I'm waiting an extra week or two. If he's going to be sacked, I'm getting Gary Neal for when he leaves Wolves. I think Gary Neal's a young manager. I think he's been very unlucky with Wolves. I think under difficult circumstances as well, losing key players, not being able to replace them. They've led so many games, playing good football, and been punished for little mistakes. I wouldn't mind Gary. He's at the club before, Lord. I wouldn't mind Gary Neal if we had to pick someone. I'd give him a chance. But again, it's not going to be that. It's going to be
a player in his day when he was on loan at Cardiff as well. Was that before you were tied?
No, I was back in them days. Fun story. We had a player called Inamoto at the same time as well. We did. Yeah. I bleached my hair. Tried to bleach my hair, and it went wrong. I ended up looking like him for a while, so my nickname around for a bit was Inamoto. But Gary Neal was my time in Indian Park, and loved him. He was brilliant, absolute great engine on him. Centre midfield. Back in the Dave Jones, I think I was.
Louise, you're allowed an opinion whenever you want to, my lovely. Don't you worry about that. Right, guys, we're going to start wrapping up. Be good for people who have been in the comments tonight. If there was an open checkbook and we could have any manager you wanted, get your comments in the chat. Who would you have as Cardiff City manager? Reece,
my name is spelled RHYS, by the way, guys, right?
Football manager champion from 1995 to 2024. It's got Barrytown.
I'd love a crack.
Got Barrytown from the Welsh Premiership to the Champions League in consecutive.
Cracked it, mate.
Completed it.
I'd love a crack at the job.
Yeah.
Actually, love a crack at the job.
It's I was thinking that today, really, but it's like, well, it's bad enough looking after Fleur and the 10s is that fries my head enough. But looking forward to that tomorrow, mind. But it'll be interesting to see now what the couple of days. Still, we'll put Tony Mowbray. We need experience and know-how at this stage. I'm not sure how well he is now, because he was in Middlesbrough. He stopped, or Birmingham he was at, and He stopped because he wasn't very well, didn't he?
Was it? Yeah, Birmingham, that's right. Yeah, he stopped. But he's got a great track record with young players. Look at the Sunderland side. He built a very young Sunderland side player, a good attack football. His career, he's always trusted the youngsters. And you'd say, with the youngsters we got, you'd like some of that to come in. My issue is, if we do sack Bullet, new manager comes in and goes, oh, Tete, I'll give him a go. Oh, I don't like Kipakio. I don't like them youngsters. And all of a sudden, then we're back. There's so much wrong at the club right now. I just can't.
There's a
Give it to me. I know what I'm doing.
Lewis Watts have mentioned Liam Rossignol. I think I mentioned that to somebody earlier. I wouldn't mind seeing him. But didn't you say he was out? Was it Strasbourg or something like that? You said you thought he was gone to?
I think it's Strasbourg he's gone to. Yeah, I know he's managing somewhere. I would have taken him. I thought he did a fantastic job at Derby, and I thought he did a really good job at Hull. Yeah. Again, unlucky when they set the playoffs.
Ryan Lowe. Gareth Lewis says Ryan Lowe. Is that the one who got sacked by Preston?
He walked after one game, yeah. He did, I think was it Rochdale or Bear? Rochdale, I think, was first of all. And he did a good job there. Then he went to Preston, did a wonderful job there. He seems like he knows what he's doing. But again, God, it's just, we could get Ryan Lowe. We could, and then all of a sudden, fans might turn him at 6 months. I get it. I don't know. I mean, we'll probably get Sam Allardyce. And the board will unveil him as Samuel Allardyce or something, the way the board were. So, I mean, I don't trust them at all.
And the thing is, whoever comes in, our fans, half of them will be happy and half of them will be climbing the walls, I expect. And it's the thing, innit? And like we said with Louise, and we're all entitled to opinions. Some agree, some don't agree. But it is what it is, isn't it? But it'll be interesting. Like you said, I think they'll probably give him another game next week. But I think conversations will definitely would have been had, I think. And I think he might be on his kind of last written warning type of thing.
The worrying thing is, right, if they did sack him now, they got to pay up his 2-year contract. They also got to pay up his entire back staff who we brought with him because they want to go. So then whoever does come in will have to bring in a whole new back staff as well. So they'll probably only be given a 1-year deal or a 6-month deal to 9-month deal to end the season. If you're offering that to a manager, a lot of managers will say, no, I want a 2-year deal at least. I can't see him offer a 2-year deal. It'll be a 1-year deal to whoever comes in. And again, at that point, then you're narrowing down your options again.
Yeah. I know there's been a lot of rumours in there to say about Rambo and that, and it's come out this week that he's just finished his badges. And for me, I don't know how you feel, but I think if he was to do it, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable with that, knowing that, well, he's in and around the dressing room now anyway, so he should be having some kind of impact anyway if things are not working. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's the same as the Nathan Jones thing. If it goes bad, then all of a sudden his entire Cardiff legacy is tarnished by the 6 months that he had in charge.
Yeah. And
also, you're like, right, you're a proper leader. You played for Juventus, Arsenal. You played some massive games. You should be back, regardless of your opinion as the manager. You should be telling the players, look, you need to sort it out now. Whatever your issues are, shut up, knuckle down, get out there and play for the badge. Because the manager, no manager. If we go down, again, we might not ever get back to the championship. Some of us might not. So we need to shut up, knuckle down, work hard. And I'm thinking that he's not having that impact. He's great around the kids, sounds like, helping the youngsters. Maybe a youth coach career down the line, maybe. But again, there's just no real leaders there, and that's a big issue for me. If you're a manager, you're looking for leaders, you got roles, that's suicidal for me. That is ridiculous.
Right, I think we'll finish up there. Massive thank you, buddy, for getting home from work and jumping on. Do appreciate it. Massive thanks to everybody in the comments, everybody who's watched tonight. If you can, go on, like and subscribe the channel. Before I go
leave
as well, a comment, yeah, much appreciated if you can do that. What I did want to say was, after you've watched this, guys, there is a Sol Bamba tribute out by Terry Phillips. on Cardiff City World. Have a scroll down through the videos. I think it was out last night, or maybe even the night before. So if you can get on there and have a little look at that, and put some comments on there as well, that'd be fantastic. But really do appreciate all your interaction. It's been very much appreciated. Reese, as I said, thank you, buddy. Top man, stepping in for Robert. I think he might be back next week, but I don't know if he deserves his place back now, to be honest.
It's getting hard not up in anger all the time. My heart can't take it.
Yeah.
And then again, I might be the manager next week, so I might not be able to do it anyway. So
you'll have to, but there's somebody I can't do it on my own. Anybody in the chat want to jump on the flower hour with me next week? If Rob's not about and Reese is not about, hit me up. Get your name in the comments. Louise, the Viking, she can get on with me. But no doubt we'll be back. We'll be back on Wednesday and Saturday next week. There is a Patreon show out for the members on Monday. I think I'm interviewing Sai again, so have a look out for that. You can join Ace Podcast Nation's Patreon. Have a look on the social media platforms. For the price of a cup of coffee a month, you can join, get access to live tickets, events, early access to that. Paul just said now your mother can come on with me on Wednesday, but Reese's mum.
That's my sister man's well, I'll be.
Yeah. Brilliant. Right. Brilliant. Thank you very much, one and all. That's the most people we've had viewing tonight, I think, for our show. Only one thing left to say, but
Have a flower.